2012 Acura TSX, customer concern, noisy brakes. We can just look at that rotor pad right here. There is no brake pad down to the middle, so you know what that means. Look at that rotor. More rings than Saturn. So we're gonna need a new rotor, new brake pad, and let me show you something else. On the driver's side of things, you can see the brake pad has way more padding than the passenger side that's down to the middle. If you look at this rotor, look at this caliper, the rubber boot is completely gone. So grease, lubrication out, salt, dirt, or in New England, in, causes this to be seized, which causes to be pressed against the brake pad, never letting go, wearing down this rotor and pad. And let's not forget about the sliding pin. Look at that. It's supposed to kind of look like this, and this is seized anyway. So we're going to be replacing the caliper, rotor, and brake pad. Everything here is bad news. Started off with the bad caliper, which leads to the bad brake pad, which leads to a bad rotor. This is all collateral damage, and you can tell, look at that, turned to blue steel. That's heat from stopping on the backing. Here's a reference to show you what a good caliper looks like. You can see this boot is pushed back in, as opposed to this one where there is no boot. And then here we can see the sliding pins are moving fine, and it has full protection of the boot, where here there is no boot. Dirt gets in. And here's a good pad, and here's a pad that is totally done. The new rotor in place, caliper, and these spring spacers to keep the brake pads from staying on the rotor for premature wear. Okay, we got the brake hose attached to the brake caliper, got the two copper banjo bolts, and I like to torque them because if you do them too tight, it'll bleed, and if you do it too loose, it'll bleed. So we're going for 26 foot-pounds as spec. Where we at now so far? There we go. And we're back on the driver's side, which had the good caliper, and you can see the brake pad here wasn't that bad. Actually looked like it's fairly new, but unfortunately that other caliper caused damage, which have to replace them. So replace both calipers, and just something I want to show. These springs here, spring spreaders, where you can see I'm pushing against it as a caliper would, but when there's no pressure, it keeps it away from the rotor. That's also a good thing for premature wear. So if your brake pad comes with these, I definitely recommend installing them, not only for the wear, but for noise. It'll keep them away so you won't hear them making noise. That new rotor, new pads, new caliper, and we bled the system here so this caliper has no air in it, and we're good to go.